Welcome to another edition of Little Bikes Instructional Videos. Today what we're going to talk about is installing the forks on a Z50 K1. And the first thing I want you to do is I want you to prep out your bearings, and I want you to have them laid out as 21 top, 21 bottom, and make sure you do that, because if you don't, if you pick them out of the bag or pick them out of a little cup that you have them in, a lot of times you can miscount. It's just so much easier, less problems if you go ahead and count them out and have them labeled there. So here's what I want to tell you, that we use red high temperature grease, and what we use this for is to make that bearing stick and for that bearing to ride in the actual cup itself. Now, what I've done is I already prepped that portion, and I've got 21 in the top, and I've already put the red grease around there. Same way, don't forget this. Go to the bottom, come around here and put the grease in the bottom as well. And then I want you to notice that I've already prepped my forks, okay? So I've already got the grease on there. That keeps the bearing in place, and then it automatically will be in the cup ready to install. So when installing this, I feel like you need to keep this stuff ready to go in hands. If you're like we do it here, we don't have help, so you have to do it yourself. So make sure you have everything ready to go. So I've got my race right here ready to go, and I'm gonna actually, when I start the stem up through the head tube, I'm gonna actually put it right up in there, and when I come up this portion of it, I want you to take your thumb and press right there, because this cannot slip backwards. The bearings will fall out or get on top of each other. It will be a disaster. Okay, so feel like you've got a little oil lubricated on your threads to make the life a whole lot easier on yourself, and then make sure you go ahead and start your race down on the stem. And yes, it is very long-winded a lot of times. You'll feel like you'll never get down there, but as you can tell, it spins very freely, and you can go and get it right down on place. Okay, now really important, watch when your race gets really close to your cup. Make sure you keep that alignment very much center. And then I want you to make a feel. This is where it's kind of a feel thing. And then as you start to tighten down, start turning that head tube back, or that fork back and forth, because you want that snug fit. You feel like everything is in place there. You feel like everything, there isn't any binding, there isn't any twisting. And then go ahead and grab a rag and feel like then you put a death grip on it and really tighten that tight. And then you can wipe off the excessive, any kind of oil or grease that you see out there, you can wipe that off. Now, before you go on with the second stage, this is on a K1 now. So before you go on a second stage and you hammer that tight, okay, make sure that everything, you're very comfortable with it turning freely and going back and forth. And lastly, the thing that you'll do is turn the fork all the way to the right so it's against the stop, and then you will take your hammer and actually hammer in a punch and punch that tight. Thank you for viewing, and we'll see you next time.